Hello everybody, thanks so much for coming. As you can see, amazing turnout. But it's a pleasure you being here anyway, so thank you very much for coming. Today, we obviously have our amazing poets, which we are celebrating our third book, Fried Thrice. So Dead Poets has been running for, I believe, 4 years, but we've only made books the past 3. I have been so fortunate as to be part of all 3 productions. Everyone has put in so much effort. It is an entirely student-led project with teachers sort of looking down on us. It has been absolutely amazing to work with everyone here, and they've all put in so much work, and hopefully you're about to see some of that amazing work. Yes, I believe we are ready to start.
Hello, I'm Josh. As you can see, I did not get the dress code, but that's my bad. So this one today I'm reading is called Hello People of the Past, and this is one kind of where you see someone maybe across the street, you might vaguely recognise them, but you can't quite put a name to the face. And so yeah, this is Hello People of the Past. I was walking down the street one day when I saw a face, not associated with any name nor any time or place, yet it seemed familiar. It ventured closer and closer, sensing my befuddled expression. Who are you? Who were you? Even in that moment, I couldn't make it out truly. The eyes were distorted, the mouth jumbled, the expression misunderstood. And then you passed me, gone like the last time, seemingly lost to the past as all the others have. You are the people who enter our lives abruptly and leave them just as quickly. Nothing has been attached to you, no anger, no love, no joy. You merely exist among us, and you are remembered in paradox, for you are the people of the past. So this one's called The Walls. So I go to Ireland twice a year, and the part where I'm from is there's quite a lot of kind of stone walls. I don't know if you're... but yeah, and they're quite kind of almost romantic, and I really like them. So there's the context for the poem, and this one's called The Walls. As I stand here looking at you, I wonder how you got here. Were you chased by a 12-foot snail slowly limping over millennia? Or were you once riders of the great green ocean on which you sit? The waves stopped by the hands of time, hold you in place with malevolent claws. Maybe you were once boards on which giants played chess, taking and moving horses between squares as they do today. Sometimes I wonder if you will ever fade or crumble silently, without love or care. Yet I know you won't. You haven't then, and you won't now. For the true test of your strength isn't time, it is your purpose, and that will always lie in my heart, even if nature claims you for its own. You are larger than any structure, for you are an idea, a hope, a dream, and those can't be plucked and twisted by the cold grasp of the clock.
What a great start, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't really have much context for mine because they're all about kind of the same thing. But, and I may have read these before, so if you've ever seen me, you've probably heard these. But these, I'm very proud of them, so listen to them again! This first one's called Vignettes from Lives That Aren't Mine. My body isn't my own. My flesh has flattened and faded, turned to contradiction. I'm blind, yet I see. I walk, yet don't step. Every colour I make out is a shade of green, and I can feel you. There's a body lying in a sunflower field. He has my face, he has my eyes, nose, mouth, identical in all but blood colour. And suddenly we're at the train station, suddenly your fangs have drawn blood, suddenly I can touch you. The night grew dark hours ago, and I'm no longer cold. You stir beneath the duvet just to press your back to my front. Hair bristles against my nose, but I hold quiet. My arm around your waist, because I can hold you. This one's called 4 Reasons Why Green is My Favourite Colour. The green sun, spackles and sparkles of dust, bursting out, small combustions of raw, unfiltered heat and radiations, full bequerels of fire and flame sought after by my kind. The green sea, deep and vast equally so, flowing steadily and full of life, each litre a page in a boundless story, an endless mortal fable easy to get lost in. The green grass, steady, stable, soft, a sinful sibilance of dirty, humorous impunity that pulls a crinkled smile from my lips like scrap paper and pours its heart out in ballpoint pen with a lavish pink heart glued to the rib. Your eyes, which, as per usual, remain indescribable.
Funny enough, for most of you probably know, June, Pride Month. My first poem, Pride. Funnily enough, I'm not talking about the LGBTQ, I'm talking about the sin. My main thing with this book was my series of poems about the 7 deadly sins, and Pride was the first. So, I'm the boss, the top of the world. No one can touch me, no one can compare. I can't even begin to see why they would hate me. I'm great and courteous, can't you see? I'm the one they bow to, the one that has them take a knee. So they don't hate me, they love me, in all my glory. But I do. It costs me everything, this way of life. My kid, my wife, the loves of my eternal life. Next one, the longer one, the one that's not half a page. Icarus! As I'm going to say every time I read this, I did not read the story of Icarus before I wrote this. I knew it was about someone falling out of the sky, however, I didn't realise it was like a 12-year-old boy trying to escape a maze. I thought it was his dad making wings for human supply, and Icarus getting cocky and flying too close to the sun. Icarus. Wait, what have I done? My wings are melting. Have I flown too close to the sun? As the wax melted away and I plummeted to my death, I thought back, remembering what had led to this mess. My ignorance and pride trumped all else, saying let's soar higher and higher, above everyone else. But like all great things, I've come plummeting down, thinking I was invincible, soaring so high above the ground. My father and wife told me not to soar that high, warned me my wings would melt and I'd surely die. And in those last moments before I did, I thought back on my life, to when I was a kid. The joy and happiness I felt inside that day when I earned my first dime, the moment I met my wife, and the time I had a kid, and then losing him the way that I did. I've had many regrets throughout my life, the people I cared and hurt for, and the ones I lose at night. I was never truly happy with this mortal life, so I soared higher and higher, trying to reach that immortal light. I can't help but wonder what awaits me after, when the stones crack my head, spewing my blood all over. I hope future people will take lessons from me after. Why not to soar so high? How not to regret and live their lives with laughter.
No one told you how long it takes to find these in the book? Right. So, the first one I'm going to read is about my grandmother who lives in Devon, and I don't see her all that often, so, yeah. There was a blue sapphire in a shop. It reminded me of you. I thought about when I drive to see you and drive and not miss you, because I'm with you. The blue sky, the blue sea, the blue hues of your hair, the blue hues of your dress, the memory of your once blue hair. The blue glow from our favourite show to watch together. When I watch it by myself, it's not quite the same, as you and Grandad both watched it before me. Now, when I watch it with you, you both remember the small details of that same show. The pale blue tones of the chairs we sat in, eating ice cream by the sea before walking back home. By that time, my hair was blue and your outfit was patchwork as colourful as the summer's day. I can't wait till the day I drive to see you next. Till that day, I'll call you this weekend. The next one is, it makes more sense when you read it because it's got a fancy way it's set up and it's concrete, but this one is about changing from summer to autumn. The trees shall weep their solemn tears, the leaves will leave the trees. Like birds from a nest they leave, but somewhere it's still summer. The rain will fall, the ground collecting its cries, the water will fall harder. As the clouds weep more, but somewhere it's still summer. Pumpkins adorn people's porches, matching the leaves on the ground. As I walk, the pumpkins become more in numbers, but somewhere it's still summer. This is very fine, now I feel short.
Originally I wasn't going to read them because I was nervous, but you know. This one doesn't have much context. It makes me look a bit of a narcissist, so, you know, nothing new, I guess. It's called Sinosha. By me. In all ways, I am a Sinosha. I am unyielding in my sensuality. A star at the heart of my own universe, a creature with its own sense of gravity. Human is a term I no longer trifle with. It is far too flimsy a title for me. My soul is written in a nebulate calligraphy. There is total lines of indecency. Rejecting humanity, humility, it does not serve something so far from the small folds, weighed down by the contradictions of your own existence. Root what you sow is all to be told, and a being like you does not sow. I delegate stars in the solar system, consonantal to my own simplicity and complexity, an assortment of cosmic dust orbiting. You stumble on concrete and dirt. I glide and flow in this luna, existing endlessly where you exist to end. Find beauty in my complete altruistic vulnerability. You have seen me, the core of your everything. I am weightless, light and clear, gossamer and daffodils, and entirely, completely yours. This next one is glass confined. It's because every time we buy a bouquet, we leave them there until they're like dead, because, you know, we paid for that bouquet. I was like a tenner at Tesco's. It's going to stay there as long as it can. It's called glass confined. I hold stem and contain leafy steeple in my grasp, who, towering to reach blue sky and cloud-flooded heavens, dreams of breathing atmospheric bundles and bunches of air, with petals tilting up which, in turn, I clip for bundles and bunches. Dripping vase water, dying, slow, subtle that it forgets how, such a blossom as itself, free of glass confinement. Cracked white ceiling in place of cloud-flooded heavens, and nourishing sun, suckled light atop blue background, now as blinding white, flickering bulb. Chip of paint falls to trail down petal centre, but such a colourful thing longs to taste daytime shimmering mildew, only to succumb to shallowing, lukewarm tap water.
In oxidized droplets gathering upon the mudded floor, I melt. I plunder, skin my first surrender, and bones my final fight my own. Spoiled, rotten, crisp skin, burnt by poor sun dragging over. Each brittle wax remain is something wasteless body, suffering, decay and heat. Where those tissues rest, eyes and muscle, eaten perhaps, do we rest? Does our body and eternity rest? I grieve myself, her other. Most cherished one, she danced with sun's deepest shine, and last a gentle velvety hand kiss, and dons the blood's regard. Those spinster spines enticing a thought weave in, she who stays peppered in freckled luck and a future regarded well, a perfect one, sun's child. Will she rest? Shall she? Where? Eaten, perhaps. Though by nature's choice, I wonder, does she rest? Does she rest? Where in the forest shall I find the fairies and four-leaf clovers? And do they too fear pentameter, a rhyme in the mist? Do they sing? Did the Jews dip their kiss on arms, dancing with day's bearings, bending to feel the muscular stretch and softened breeze? Wind hath left to snooze. Oh my, a blissful chirrup, exuding day's end, and in that bliss a twinkle of warmth. Spring sings, birds and flowers bloom, as written. Passion speaks through our rain's foggy lust. The beast, the lover, we note here. Our mind
blippers in spite of sense. 'Tis untainted, our misted words, go searching, go hunt, ink it.
About this time last year, I was in India for 3 weeks, working in a Tibetan refugee camp with children, and I don't know how many of you know about the stuff going over at their homeland, but the children I was working with, a lot of them, all of them have come across from the Himalayas, barefoot, alone, isolated and being shot at, and a lot escaping from concentration camps. So this poem that I've written today is a combination of their stories. So when you listen to it, I would really appreciate if you listen to their voices rather than mine. And if you could just kind of like close your eyes, imagine what I'm saying like it's a storybook, then I would really appreciate that. Thank you. Bracelet of fruit. She escapes in the night through the barbed wire and outwits the giants with guns. Outruns the chains that hold them down. She escapes through the night. Cold, barefoot, she begins to climb up to the ice-cold peaks, jagged like sharp knives. Chaste she is, but the armed men that want her to fall. A sister gone, a brother, mother, and father too. Only numbers to them, but humans to her. She escapes in the night. She carries only small pieces of food. Her toes are now too cold to move. She crawls up the mountain, knowing that if she falls, she'll be eaten. Gone. Another gunshot. She hides in the snow. She escapes in the night with nowhere to go. She reaches a place, they pronounce it India, a place the Saviour did go. She falls and trips, cut, bruised and cold, into a school, far from the cold. Warm and inviting, with teachers and kindness, with pride and no fear, with people in yellow tops and strange words. She meets a girl with curls that spiral, with thousands of bracelets. She only sees one with fruit. The girl at the end, she will give her that bracelet of fruit. And that's the end. No, it's not. Wait just there. For behind the mountains there's another little boy at the camp. Eyes just like hers, he escapes in the night. No, wait, he's just been shot. My next poem is my mother's favourite, which is why I'm reading it. And it's basically about being someone who cares for the other person more, and the way that people can easily leave you and you're not really ready to let go yet. Forgetting. I feel like everyone has forgotten about us, including you. Like a beaded necklace that is broken, and I'm picking up the beads from the floor, each one an orb of a memory we were living once before, and I'm the only one on my hands and knees trying to rethread them in the correct order. But it's not working, can't you see? And I'm trying to wear a necklace with no catch, and it's like I'm seeing them falling in the same fashion that you left me, bouncing under cabinets in the dark places I can't reach. And I'm trying so hard to forget those lost beads, trying so hard not to drop on my knees, but here I am now.
I've never actually read this aloud before, which really upset my mum, so I'm doing this for her. She now knows exactly which one it is. She took me to Italy along with my brother and his fiancée, and I wrote this whilst in the cathedral there. So this is the symbols of the church. Would you kiss me upon the cathedral rooftop? Press your soft skin against mine, mix us together until we are nothing but sin and rhymes. Would you push me against the cold marble wall, letting God see all that we do? The sins we commit, but they take us to heaven as we lay and we kiss, falling together with hot laughs and cold touches, as you interlock your hands with mine. Would you let the angels see the persistent grasp we have of one another? Would you let the artist carve our actions into stone, carve our outlines and place us upon the walls as though we are art, as though we are beautiful, religious, despite the sins we commit, our voices calling handmade prayers, our lips whispering our own religion against one another's skin, and in that moment we are holy. This second one comes from a post that I randomly came across, which is actually the first line of the poem. So for legal reasons, never smoke weed, but this is called Drowning, and it's completely inspired by this random post I found.
This weed tastes like a lake I nearly drowned in as a kid. It's sweet, sickly, and weird. It sticks to the back of my throat and all my memories I choke. This weed tastes like my best friend seconds before it's end, or a few months actually. It tastes like all the times he needed me. This weed tastes like my own fears that don't ever seem to disappear, even when I'm high as can be and safe in the sea. But I was raised a sailor, so the lake was soft and favoured, but still nearly let me drown, though that was when I found meaning. This weed tastes like the tree I fell out of at age 9, when I bit back my tears and said I was fine. The weed tastes like a game of charades, where us broken kids play each day like that makeshift mask we used to hide our nasty stars. The lake feels so far from now, a memory of the past that I somehow found in this empty, smoke-filled glass. It tastes like a dying corpse, my dying corpse, before it got lost, before it rotted on the ocean floor alone with the damage I did. It feels the same as my burning lungs as the water helped me take the plunge, yet this death of mine feels so tame. Lonely almost, for I am still drowning like back on the lake's coast, but around me no one surrounds, because I am drowning privately and all on my own.
My first poem I've chosen to read tonight was inspired by a conversation I had with my mum about the night before I turned 18, and obviously a lot of our lovely poets are leaving. We're going off to uni and elsewhere. So this poem is called Will You Take Your Teddies to Uni? Will you take your teddies to uni? My mum asks me, settling herself on the sofa. This has been our conversation for some weeks, leaping between talks of adulthood and talks of how it used to be. The future is looming closer now. Next week, adulthood will sweep me up, wrench me from the tender nest of childhood and into something new, something terrifying, like wading through unknown waters, hoping the stones don't catch your feet. She asks me this, and I'm taken back to days of paddling pools and soft play, Pizza Hut parties and loom band bracelets, foam masks and fruit and Scooby-Doo, gaudy Christmas lights and plastic princess shoes. And there I am, in my spotty leggings and muddy trainers, building dens from sticks and climbing trees, a mess of blonde hair mixing all the Coke flavours of the soda machine, or on the trampoline with my best friend, throwing footballs over the fence at the neighbour's kid. He found it fun, really. Will you take your teddies to uni? My mum asks me, and I feel a lump rise in my throat, because the answer is, of course I will. And we both know that, and we both know I'm not ready to grow up just yet. So that night, I go to bed, and I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. I film out now, grown into a young woman I hope would make my younger self proud. I may be older, but under the duvet I curl up, the same girl I was 18 years ago, and hold my teddies tight to my chest. And this second poem I wrote sometime on the bus last year, and it's called I Thought About Love. The mid-December bus rumble thrums in the air, mingles with the waft of the coffee in the red raw hands of the woman beside me as we watch those icicle fields roll past through steam-smudged windows. I take note of the students around us, weary, battered by the day, waiting for home's embrace. You sit a few rows in front of me, two boys bundled up in coats and scarves to fight off this incessant chill, staring absently through a grubby haze, trying not to look at each other. We turn a corner, and I notice the boy to your left start to droop, sleepily, head dipping forwards as we sway. He hits your shoulder, gently, and you bat him away with stubborn instinct. It doesn't take long for his head to loll back towards you, finding itself in the crook of your neck, and this time you let him linger just a few seconds more, before issuing a softer nudge to send him upright. This careful ping-pong continues for little more than a minute, him to you, to him to you. But in that time I find myself wondering who you are. The air between you is comfortable, quiet, calm. You know each other well, I'm sure, but perhaps there's part of you that's uncertain, towing this invisible line you're too scared to cross. Yet eventually you stop fighting and let him rest there, tenderly. And in that instant I thought about love, sculpted you a future in a perfect snow globe where no outside frost could permeate, where you weren't afraid and just for a moment you found peace. The bus hits a pothole and I'm jolted back. I know this game is foolish and I'll never see you again. I know your forever is not for my eyes, but you let him rest there, tenderly. And just for a moment, I thought about love.
Some of you here would have already heard this poem. It is the only one I published this year. I'm going to give a little bit of context as I'm in the reading round. 75 days ago, I was in surgery to be diagnosed with endometriosis, which I was.
And in those 75 days, I have had to try and learn to figure out how to live around it, how to live with it, and how my life is now going to go. One thing about the doctors in hospital is they love to give you a diagnosis and then tell you to go and get on with your life. So you're kind of left in the dark a little bit. But after 5 years, I'm grateful that I got the chance to receive a diagnosis instead of having to wait 7 to 10 years, which is the average wait time for a woman to be diagnosed with endometriosis or even investigated. So I will continue to stick up for those who are too scared to stick up for themselves, and I will continue to stick up for myself and to anyone suffering and not being heard. And so this poem means a lot to me. It's called Sick. After months and months, years and years, the pain's still there, no subtlety in sight. You gave me pill after pill, drug after drug. Eventually, the doctor's office was dull and the hospital bleak, as was hoped that you'd take it as less than a joke. You pushed me aside, and I cried time after time, and still 4 years went by, and I thought that I might die. Something you didn't see was the suffering is true, the times I fell and had to be picked up again, literally. Finally you sigh, you think I'm taking meds, but give me one last pill and treat me like I am. I am sick, why won't you believe me? Eventually, you give me the offer of a lifetime. That blade will touch my skin, leaving permanent marks just to prove I'm sick. Yet you're the only one who doesn't believe me.
Bordighera, Northern Italy, 1983. I couldn't pinpoint the moment when it happened really. It arrived in a series of fluid transitions, from one season to the next. Black snow to white heat, from navy to vermilion to eggshell blue. I think I can recall one afternoon we spent watching Cuttlebone sailboats drift across the Linguarian. Rough and rope hung heavy over their sun-bleached hulls. I had held your malleable body, smoothed my light palms into the ridges and grooves of your shoulder blades, your skin translucent and delicate in the yoke of the August sun, traced over Orion at your upper right arm and Cepheus across your left. This marked the moment of both my zenith and my nadir.
The first one that I've got is called Pomegranate Seeds, and I wrote it just because I had a couple of lines that I liked the sound of, but it's ended up being about a toxic relationship with whoever you want it to be, whether it's yourself or a partner or a family member. But yeah. Pomegranate seeds glisten between your ribs. I could crush them between my fingers, relishing the flavour of your honey. I can smell the flesh that clings to your frame, turning to steak in my synapses, and I have been ever so hungry. My insides have been rotting, my love. But there are pomegranate seeds in your ribs, and your lungs are built from limes, and I don't want to rot any longer, so forgive me, my darling, if I have used you to sustain me. You are reanimating my corpse with your own, so I may be sustained. And I have one quick one, which was just about when I went to kind of like an anatomy lab at a university, and there was a cadaver dog there that looked exactly like my dog, and at first I was really sad about it, and then I realised that if I go there, that dog might teach me how to look after my own dog one day, and this is kind of like that. So, under the harsh white lights I saw you, your sticky toffee eyes held permanently closed, your soft sunlight fur waxy and paled. In an hour's time, you will be wrapped again in the blankest of icicles until gloved hands strip you apart, marbling each tendon. They will be younger than the gloved hands I know, those who once pulled poison from her stomach. Did you teach them how she works? Life pulses with her every movement, her soft sunlight fur tilting up and down with every breath. Sticky toffee eyes ready to pop open at the sound of my front door, each muscle bursting as she runs across the garden. You and her are inextricably tied in my mind. Maybe I will be the gloved hand stripping you apart, and maybe you will help me save a life like hers.
First of all, I'm going to read a poem called Morbid Curiosity, which is inspired by a comic series called Beautiful Darkness. It's very good, it's very fun. It kind of speaks for itself, so I'll just continue it. Morbid Curiosity. I was walking along in the woods one day, and I thought about something. I walk a lot, I'm outside a lot. What if I found a body? Now, I know that might seem strange, something to think about, some sort of morbid curiosity, but it's not so far-fetched, is it? Forests aren't silent, as many falsely presume. The birds shout almost constantly, the trees roar and deafen in the wind. There is always an echo of something in the distance, so if someone were to fall in the forest, would anyone hear? The dull thud as they tripped on a root, hitting their head on a rock, would they even make a sound? Forests are full of life, as many are aware and dislike. There are bugs of all shapes and sizes, some friendly, some gross, some scary. And although I love them all, living fascinating little lives, would I still love them if they covered a corpse? Flies and wasps eating their fill and rotting flesh, would the body be a marvel, even for a second? Forests are far too big, as many don't seem to comprehend. There are so many nooks and crannies hidden among shrubs and trees, in just 1 acre, let alone more. The earth consuming any object that stays still for too long. So would a skeleton ever be found? Sun-bleached bones scattered around the forest floor by scavengers. Would they be found, or would they just vanish into the wilderness? I was walking along the woods one day, and I thought about something. I walk a lot, I'm outside a lot. What if I found a body, and that body had been me, struck down in the middle of my morbid curiosity? Thank you. The next one I'm going to read is it's about a friend of mine, and they mean a lot to me. And through a heart-to-heart, I decided I would create a poem for them, and this is what it's about. This is the Ballad of Pyrrho the Clown. Greetings, respectable audience. Let me introduce you to Pyrrho. She will now perform for you a comedy, and trust me, it's a very funny comedy. Step up to the stage and take a deep breath, bite down on your nerves and just do your best. The music begins in the here and now. She spreads her arms wide and recounts her vow, I will make you happy. She completes her performance, standing up proud, she feels important. My beautiful girl, my beautiful Yorick. She's done so well, the crowd is euphoric. Now get out of your seats as you laugh at her jokes. The curtain comes down. That's all, folks. Now my dear Pyrrho returns home. She takes a break from her performative syndrome. Every day she makes you happy, you see? Every day she performs a comedy. All the things in her life, struggles with work, friends and family strife, she wants you to be okay. She wants to make you smile when the clouds are grey. And she tries to help everyone, never asks for a thanks or well done, but what happens when it gets too much? Stop it, she's a clown, curtsying and prancing around, makes jokes to her friends in a party hat, she'll amuse and delight just like an acrobat. After she's done, she'll make balloon animals, dancing with handstands, twirls and diagonals, distracting you from the pain, and then she'll bottle up her feelings again. Because she stole your sadness and hid it in her chest, she absorbs it, stores it, lets it infest. You don't know the sacrifice that she's made, you don't know the cost of the part she's played. For the entertainer is one that is never truly entertained, shouting out her voice now drowned and drained. Because Pyrrho, she struggles too, even though she rarely tells you. You see, she's worried about her wider family's health, and even then she has to think about herself. She needs more sleep, more food, more time, a better mood, her career, her future, her house, her body is slowing, and on top of all that, there ain't much money in clowning. She stands there in silver, left behind in second place. She hides away by painting patterns on her face. She has people relying on her. No, she can't break, she can't, and there's other people's happiness at stake. She's tired of being positive, helpful and sappy. She knows deep down that she doesn't deserve to be happy, so she'll risk her own health swinging from the trapeze. That's what it was always for you, drum roll please. Pyrrho sits alone in her room, quietly sobbing, drowning in her unhealthy thoughts, sinking. She knows that she is being selfish, all the lies she's told embellished. She wanted her name at lights, so she made up excuses for why she's not alright. She's not important. Do you think that she mattered to them? She's not important. Her whole life costs less than amethyst gem. Don't take pity on this shit-ass clown. She's your mockery. She deserves the frown, for she is the jester. Her job's to entertain. Her purpose is to suffer through your pain. They could never give up. They could have given her help if she gave them access. She is nothing more than pitiful excess. Pyrrho sits alone in her room, quietly frozen. Was it worth being kind for the life that she'd chosen? A voice in her mind begins to talk already, hallucinating a pool of blood and confetti. It's not even worth saving her own mental health when she's far too cowardly to cut herself. And that's the end. What? You wanted a solution. You wanted Pyrrho to have some sort of conclusion. That's not how this works, so to break your illusion. There's no repairing this emotional transfusion. Thank you for listening. Now we'll close the curtain. Please leave your seats, and thanks for your inclusion. She stands on stage, her body now broken. You've drunk all the lies the Harlequin has spoken. Maybe she'll happy now. You know where she's come from. She still paints a smile. She still paints on the smile of the clown that she has become, because after all, the show must go on. Throughout all three books, I've already mentioned that I worked on all three. And throughout all three, I've created a trilogy of poems. And they have been named Amateur Overture, Average Overture, and And finally, adequate overture. And for those who don't know, an overture is a piece of music that is often put in an album which encapsulates every part of every song that is within that album. So it's like a collective. And I've done one for each of my poems in this book. So yeah, this is Adequate Overture. 3 books, huh? That's a little more than I planned. Welcome to the final poem, My Last Stand. I know you think you're scary, but I like to think we're friends. And I'll still go walking in the woods until my morbid end. Her pearlescent eyes were shining across the moonlit sea, and I finally know what love is now that you belong to me. How dare you speak God's name in vain, a pale god locked in chains? You drink poison from your sippy cup. Perhaps it might still fill you up. I saw Maria while she was riding on the train. I stood there on stage with Piero, our shared pain. You're up on a shelf. I wonder who you were in life. It has to be summer somewhere. Someday I will learn how to write. Dear Willow, I tried harder this time. This line's written backwards, a pointless line. Damn, it's been 3 years, and I seem to be the last one of my original peers. It's going to be difficult to move on, but I won't stop. There's always another challenge. The bubble always pops. Some self-promotion, maybe just a little bit. Come follow me at Alfie Curtis, you know, YouTube and Instagram type shit. The world's given me so much, come see what I make of it. I loved all your poems, I wrote them for you. I've been Alfie Curtis, I bid you adieu.
Egg fried rice is available.